Okay, I look about the room and I see the presence of a full house. So with that said, we officially call the meeting to order. Reverend Jones, would you mind leading us in the invocation?
Sure. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, Lord, in Jesus' name, once again this day, God, we're thankful to you, Lord, for the day that you've given us. Help us, God, in this meeting tonight to take care of the business of the town where we're creating a way, God, that is best for everybody, and Lord, that you would be pleased with. God, we help us, Lord, to follow your guidance, God, and do the best that we can for the town. God, we will not fail to give you the praise, you the honor, and you the glory. In Jesus' holy name. Amen.
Appreciate it. Let's all stand if we're able to have the pledge of allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. We have in our possession the minutes from the previous meeting, and would like to entertain a motion to accept as presented or to make changes as needed.
Move we accept as presented, Mayor. I'll second that motion.
Okay, is there any discussion? All those in favor of accepting the minutes as presented, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, the minutes are approved. Becky, we're going to begin with you.
I don't have anything to present.
Well, we're glad you came. Okay, we have correspondence from the town office.
We do. Have a few thank you notes here. The first one is from Kay Corvin, the American Red Cross Blood Collection Program. Dear Town Council and employees of Rural Retreat, thank you to the town of Rural Retreat and employees who make sure we have a successful blood drive. There was a collection of 48 units of blood and 7 deferrals. This is excellent for our area. We live in a beautiful and compassionate community. Kay Corbin. All right, then we have one from the Presbyterian Children's Home of the Highlands, addressed to Jason. Thank you, the mayor and the town council for allowing the children's home to bring documents to shred at our recent shredding event. We were in desperate need of getting rid of a lot of outdated documents, and you allowed us to do this. We do appreciate your willingness to let us shred so many documents. Please express our gratitude to those responsible for making this event available to the citizens and anyone in need of this service. Again, thank you so much, Billy Rice, Executive Director.
Excellent.
Number 3, this one's from the Junior Appalachian Musicians in Wythe County. Dear Mr. Childers, on behalf of the Wythe County Jam Program, I want to thank you and the Rural Retreat Town Council for your generous contribution of $2,000 for the 25-26 school year. Your continued support of the Wythe County Jam is very much appreciated and makes it possible to keep the students' fees at an affordable level for everyone. The Town of Whitfield Department of Museums is pleased to serve once again as the fiscal agent for Wythe County Jam, and to have the opportunity to partner with you and the town council, make it possible for Wythe County children to participate in this wonderful regional program. We just have completed our JAM program for this year and will start a new session in September. We invite you to attend one of the JAM classes to see how much students are enjoying learning to play their instruments, as they also learn about the musical heritage of our region. The classes are held at the Heritage Preservation Center on Wednesday nights from 6 to 8. Thank you again for supporting this important program for the children of Wythe County. Sincerely, Debbie Moody, JAM Coordinator.
Thanks. All right, that covered it. What about correspondence from council? All right. Could you sort of give us a little report on Derek, during the police report? I mean,
he did say that he had talked to the county, said there hasn't been any issues in town while he's been out of commission. He'll find out more soon about how much longer he's going to have to stay straight-legged. Hopefully it'll be just 2 more weeks, then he can come back on light duty. That's what we're hoping. He's been doing his therapy, so, you know, hopefully sooner rather than later.
He
he'll be
needs to
back.
be able to sit down, this is a big.
Yeah, he has been, he told us that he had been, getting his emails and stuff at home, and he's been making his calls and doing all that, so, but hopefully we'll have the big guy back at least in some kind of capacity in a couple weeks, so.
That'd be great.
You should have been here for the shredding, Mayor, and seen him get out of the back of that vehicle when Jessica was driving and he was riding in the back.
In the back,
Yeah.
laid up
Yeah, of the
like a body.
Yeah.
I was filling my car up at Parkway, and Johnny Kinser pulled up, and I saw 2 feet hanging out the back of it, and I'm like, well, he came out of that too.
The truck, so. That's so good.
Real quick, I should have done this earlier, speaking of the shred event, just like to thank the town staff, and I remember we had some helpers from council, but sounds like it's another successful event, right?
I think it did really, really well. A lot of people,
Man,
That's good.
that is good public relations, if nothing else.
We had a little over half a truck. It was about 3,500 pounds of paper.
Wow. That's a lot, you think about it.
Most
Sheets
of
of
that
paper.
from children's homes.
Exactly what that's
What's that, 1 3/4 tons?
going to. That ain't nothing to sneeze at. Absolutely not. That's great. Okay, I want to ask a question. It's in between, I've got a few people that have asked me if there's rental property, home, apartments, house, whatever in Rural Retreat. And I was wondering if I could take, somebody asked me, it should have been during correspondence, but
okay.
anyway.
We have a list of apartment owners that we give people that they come in asking. But I will tell you, as far as I know, they're few and far between. As far as
One, they have a sign out.
He rented it.
Did you read it?
I talked to him the other day. You're right, Jason. It's, you have a real prime need. There's nothing available.
Now, that's, I mean, I'm a little bit out of touch, but from what I can understand, that's the general case there. Okay. Anybody hears of something, let me know. All right, that takes us to unfinished business. Do we have any unfinished business? I can't look about the table and accuse me of pacing. So,
If we want anything, we'll hit you in the back of the head.
is that what it is?
Rubbernecking.
I've got Ruby here. I can
Looking around the neck. No respect.
I did have a
Can't get no
question.
respect. Yeah.
What do we know about the digital sign?
I called Jerry's and got in touch with a salesperson named Daniel. You're talking about the sign for the Lions Club, and took a picture. And I need to get some measurements so they can see. I actually went. I had been asked to go to a couple of Lions Club meetings, and I haven't been able to because of sports things that I needed to go to and watch. But I did get out of one early the other day, so I went. They were still down there, so I attended their dinner. And we've lined up the sign for the wishing well. And I got with Dennis Fortner on that. He measured it out. They wanted a blue sign with yellow background on it, so it would match their colors. And it'll go on the front. And it says Lions Club, dedicated by the Lions Club, and the date that it was dedicated. And then we talked about the sign, and they really were excited about keeping maybe the brick columns there and sliding an LED in there, and then maybe putting some of that rock fascia, the small rock fascia around it to try to spruce up the brick a little bit. So I called Jerry's Signs out of Abingdon. They said absolutely they had manufacturers that could do LED signs any size we need. And I did take a picture and get it to him, but I do need to get some dimensions on size for him. But he did say they could meet our needs with what we needed, so.
We don't wanna let the Lions Club get away, whatever. I mean, I've been contacted by several of them, and they really want to participate in that.
Well, they asked me while I was there, is there any activities going around that they could help and sponsor? And I told them any time we could get them involved in stuff, we would, so. But, I was able to attend the meeting and I apologize that I had missed a few, but I was able to go to one last week.
Mayor, I have something.
Yes, sir.
You would. We have in the budget, under capitals for this year, this fiscal year, $31,000 that was to be spent on doors down at the shop. They were gonna close in the end of the shop, the doors up there. Well, I think there's a more pressing need, and we need to use this money if it's there, and it is there. I think we need to add on to the shed we've got down there now. When we started the project with the new building, the town shop and the maintenance guys lost a big storage facility.
Indeed.
And they need more storage, more covered storage down there. It's my opinion, and I'll ask Mike what he thinks. I think we need to use that $31,000 to enlarge that shed down there rather than put doors on the existing structures down there.
I agree.
How far will that go? And what could we use to add to it? Because I don't think it'd go far enough to get,
There's only room to go 30 feet on the additional upper building where the backhoe stuff
Right.
sits. So you
to
can
go toward Miller Street.
Yeah, go toward Miller Street and the setback and everything where you can get back around, but there's only about 30 feet you could add on to that building. And that building's not but, I think it's
We
not
could
even
use
24.
gravel pile on this.
Yeah, it's in between the two buildings.
So it would be
You could be going toward the west,
The extension.
the extension.
why couldn't we go with the frost-proof spigots right there on the east, isn't it?
Yes, and the gravel pile's in between the two. Of course, you could, if you wanted to add on to the bigger building,
That's what I was thinking.
you could move the gravel pile, we could move it out where the pipe is at. And you could add, see, it's been added on to once anyway. You could add on to the end of that building. That building's 40,
We would,
40 foot.
we
deep.
would get a lot more bang for our buck and more space to do that than go toward Miller Street on the smaller.
Probably so, because that building up there is only, and I didn't measure the width of it, I just measured the length out when Bob was down there that day.
I think we should allow them to come to
Do
a
we need
consensus
to?
between the two of them.
Just, we're
You did it.
moving that from capital outlays, the
Okay,
item for the
So,
garage
Bob-
doors.
if you,
I move that we move that $31,000 from garage doors outlay to a new structure at the shop. And it be under contract
before the
before the
budget,
fiscal year runs out.
so that we can use this budget.
Yes.
All right, any more discussion? We sort of done it backwards, but that's the way we start. It's all right. Anybody have anything to add? I mean, Mike's good with the ruler, I mean, we can figure out, it wouldn't take, what, 3 days? And it doesn't have to be concreted, it can be just over the gravel, can't it?
Well, it would probably need to be concrete.
Well, you would have
For the
to.
sake of storage and maintaining what you're gonna put in there, I think it should have concrete floor.
But
There's a lot of piping, fire hydrants, just different things.
That you could
Meter-
store.
Meter boxes that we could store in there that we don't have room to store now.
Well, I mean, in the past, when we had this building down here, we put the tractor in it, we put the generator, or the air compressor in it, the ditch witch attachment, I mean,
The trailer, lots of things.
I mean, yeah, with and the thought being, they had a building they were storing in and we took it away. So, okay. Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor of moving the money, and Monica, I'll leave it to you if you would.
I just said Councilmember a motion was made by Councilmember Lewis and seconded by Councilmember Lloyd to move the $31,000 from the capital outlay item to enclose a bay of the shop to add onto the shop building for additional storage. Is that okay?
Okay, thank you. All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Well, you've done business, thank you. Right? That's what we're here for. All right? Any other unfinished business? Okay. We have new business. I guess actually that was probably new business, more so than, but anyway, that's good, that's all right. Okay, nothing heard, takes us to committee reports. Finance and Appropriations, have anything, Monica, to add?
I do. I have the write-offs prepared. So just like in the past, the Code of Virginia states that we can only keep 5 years of personal property taxes on the books. So the 2020 tax amount needs to be written off. Some of these amounts are, even some of these people are deceased. And then there's just other ones that are 5 years old for the 2020 taxes. And so tax, they won't, or they can't try to collect these. They'll only go back 5 years. So the total amount of personal property taxes for this year, for 2020, is $3,230.76.
That's to what you want written off.
Yeah, and then the utility billing, we've got some uncollectible, utility bills too that we'd like to write off. These are years from 2018 to 2020. Again, some of these people are even deceased. There's a business or two on here that's out of business. That amount is $4,754.14. I'd like to get you all to make a motion and second it to.
Can they be clumped together, or do you want them in separate?
You can do it together. You can do it together.
And the total is?
So I didn't add it together, but the personal property was $3,230, and then the utility billing is $4,754.
I make a motion that we write off the taxes from 2020 to the treasurer's presented.
$100. Okay, we got a motion on the floor?
Second.
Okay, is there discussion? Okay, all those in favor of having a treasurer to write off the figure that she could put in if she would,
Okay.
please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. All right. Any other finance and appropriations?
No?
Are we gonna meet Monday?
Yes, committee meeting Monday.
Good. Okay. Personnel orders and legal matters?
I don't have anything.
Don't have anything to add in there? Okay. Let's talk about Heritage Day just for a minute. Dale, got some report?
I have nothing to report. I've got a phone call next week with the road manager, to see where we're at, but everything is fine as far as we can tell.
Is your sound people satisfied?
They are satisfied.
Do we need to do anything to the stage area? Or you don't just say, I don't know the answer, so I ask.
It goes back to, I'm glad you brought that up. I had gotten a quote to replace, and I think I talked about this in council before, the 3 porches, the caboose, the community center, and the stage. Now, this will have to come out of next, well, no, if we can get it in this year's, we'll get it in this year's. I'm going to proceed, because I don't know, I'll have to go back and look. I think it would exceed everything we have in undesignated in the 10 fund. So I would like to go ahead this year and redo the stage with Trex. And I think I've already I think they'd already voted to approve that money for that. Trex, new, is aluminum railing for all of that around the stage. Because in the past, we kind of just patched it as we went. And if we do it with the Trex and the new railing, and get away from the wood, then it'll be there for 30 years. So I can get that set up to.
What have you got, figured a way to pay for, I mean, you know?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I don't think we can pay up for all 3, but I see that one as being the main one right now, the main.
So you think you can fix the stage, whatever, with what
We can cover that.
designated money that you
Get that, right.
You don't need, I mean, that's under your purview, are you asking for?
No, I was just,
You can take care of that.
I can take care of that, because I'm pretty sure I'd already gotten approval from you all about getting those 3 estimates
Well,
already.
you know, if by some chance, if you don't, you can get it.
Yeah,
In other words,
I mean, it's not a problem.
Put that on the agenda and take care of it.
So you could have that, we could have that done by,
By July, by the end of July, for sure.
Or by the end of the budget year, I think is.
Well, if, like I said, if we have it under contract and it's somewhat started, we can back up out of July and put it into 2025.
Right.
Mayor, I have a question. While we're on that area down there, can we level those benches that are down there around the track? I mean, a couple of them, you sit in lopsided when you sit on them.
They probably need to have a concrete pad poured.
That would be
to
nice.
put them on.
That would be nice. Instead of sitting there with your feet in the weeds.
There's just so matters, our concrete guys in town right now.
That would probably be the best thing to do. You could put a little bench on.
How many are
Carry
you
it
talking
on.
about? Benches?
There's
2.
3 total, isn't
There's 2 in each, there's one in one curve, one in another curve, and then one up at the playground, isn't there?
there?
Yeah, it's 3.
On that, we should have, I'm glad you brought up that part. I had talked to, the guy who did our playground down here, and he had already looked at the playground at the community center, and he had contacted me via email saying that he was gonna get me a quote on just the equipment for that playground down there, because I think you'd said something about getting it in, somebody, might have been you, about getting that in before next year. And then he told you that he would probably have it, tomorrow or the next day? So I'll have a quote for that for the budget committee meeting, to replace all the wooden stuff down there at the community center.
Can we do something about those benches now? Since we got a concrete guy here?
If I can talk him into getting over there and working on it.
You just probably want to do the 2 around the track, I don't think, since you're going to work on the playground, you wouldn't want to do anything up there
The
yet.
one on the Griever Street side, those 2 over there on the Griever Street side are the ones that really need it.
That's guidance for that is. Okay. Anybody else have anything to add to that? Okay. Now, we've had a little meeting about the mural planning. Who's in charge? Is that Kim? Is that you?
Well,
Or is it
yeah, I
Al?
guess, I was a little late, but, we looked at some really nice stuff. We've come down to an idea of kind of what we want. Now he's going to do some more AI renderings and get back to us on it.
said he would get back to us within
Couple days.
a couple of days.
And he's sort of, it's a pretty good find to have food with this man, but he's got credentials that won't quit.
This will
Pretty
go
lucky.
right,
I don't know what it's gonna cost, but
this will go right next to the Tim Wood statue.
yeah, that's what everybody need. Something for the
Did he
kids.
just ask
I think we need to do it in stages.
Yeah, he did say that.
It's, speaking for myself, I don't know about everybody else, but some of the numbers he threw out were very, very affordable to me. I mean, he was,
And
he
that's
was,
sort
he
of-
was talking less than $15,000.
Well, you see, whenever you cross the tracks, go through the
Yes.
lights right on, I mean, it's
11.
the first thing you see.
We won't,
It's gonna be something.
Till we come up with a plan, we don't know a price, that's the way.
Well, no doubt, but anyway, he wasn't talking about spending $500,000 for a sign, in other words.
Well, that's probably in the ballpark for your statue.
Every bit of it.
Yeah.
It was a lot more affordable than I expected.
It'd be like Kalijah, wouldn't it? Poor Indian over by the door. Anyway,
This guy's very passionate about it.
I like the fact that you're using a logo.
He,
That's good.
Where's
He-
it from?
Here,
lives down Black
Like,
Lake, but he's nationwide. Seriously, he's done work all over. Oh, yes, he bought the Sweetwater property, it was Evelyn Lehman's house or whatever, Russell.
Well, I've got a question on that, if I can ask.
Well, of course.
Would it be easier for him to paint that before the roof went on?
that's what we're doing.
yeah, they're discussing, we
Where?
discussed.
Because he's,
Jeremy was here already.
oh, okay.
Yeah, that's not a bad, I'm glad you brought it up, but they thought about it, so that's good. We won't miss maybe.
Mr. Mayor, while we're talking about painting, you all might remember that I was against painting the firehouse red. Well, I want to tell you that I called the fire chief yesterday and said that the firehouse looks great. The color of red is beautiful.
Now, Bob, I want to say something. To your defense, the color that was put on there first was nowhere close to what's put on there now.
But it's red, and
But he's still sitting there red.
Yeah.
You were at,
yeah, and it's beautiful. And the black trim, it just sets it off.
There's only one thing that I wish they would do, where it says Rural Retreat Volunteer Fire Department, do that in black.
I think it needs to be redone. I think we need some new letters there.
Okay.
I think we need to get Dennis Fortner to
That
make it
may
out of
be a place
metal.
where Dennis can make a sign to go down there
I had mentioned that.
and put the light back on it. And, because that firehouse looks great.
Dennis, I seen it yesterday.
Rescue squad looks like a barn down there.
Well, that's great. I'm glad to. Because I'm in lockout, I haven't seen that.
I'll take you by there on the way
Get down
home.
there, get down there and see it, Mayor, because it really looks good.
I haven't seen it, so I said that.
They still got the front to do.
Yeah, but you can see what the
On
building.
the three sides, I mean, it's gonna be beautiful.
That's great. Always glad to hear when we screw up and do something right. I think it's wonderful. Okay, any other on the mural planning we need to add? Sounds to me like it's going though. That's, a lot of times getting started is a big deal in the all start.
We're kind of going back to what Mike's point, to go back to the mural. Our main concern right now is getting the design for what's going over the awning. That's what the focus is now. Because once they put the awning on, he can go under and do what he needs to do there. Our focus right now is just to get the first top level above the awning, get a recommendation to council and then get it going. So, you know, that's the main focus. That's what it all is pertaining to right now, is getting that top section done. So he's gonna get us something, I think you'd said, in the next couple of days. So, looking forward to that.
Okay, anybody have anything to add to the,
Your gazebo will be here in 2 weeks.
And it's gonna be nice.
you gonna be? Okay? Well, back if we need to, it takes us town manager report.
Okay, a few things, the downtown. I don't know if you guys have been down there. They've done some concrete work. They did concrete work around the porch, where the porch and the mural's gonna go. They're gonna start putting on, the turf on the playground probably tomorrow. They had been doing a bunch of prep work for that. And the turf guys are down there, so, they're gonna get that going, because it does, I think I've mentioned it before, because of the height of some of the apparatuses that are in the playground, the turf has to be a certain thickness. So it will wrap around the concrete and be tight, and it does have a warranty with it. Also, I have been in touch with a group out of Abingdon. We talked to a lady from Food City, and she was real helpful in getting us the information for our flagpole. It's going to be 40 feet with probably an 8x12 flag, is what they use. And I think Jeremy had said that they could probably go ahead and put it in while they're down there, get the concrete guy and them. Also, let's see, I talked to a company out of Princeton about pickleball courts. They've done about 350 of these pickleball courts in the last 3 years. He said the quickest way to do it is asphalt. He said asphalt they can pour in one day and be done with. He said a more expensive option is concrete. So you're gonna have to weigh cost versus durability, in my opinion. I think concrete will be more durable. It's gonna cost more off the top, probably 50 to 75% more. He told me that he could do 2 courts with everything but lighting. That includes fencing, asphalt, and the court ceiling, everything, for around $200,000. 2 courts, complete turnkey.
That's concrete. You said concrete's 200,000 with asphalt.
Concrete's 100,000. I mean, asphalt's 100,000, concrete's 200,000.
Okay.
Sorry, I got my numbers backwards. I have an opinion on it, but it's not my decision to make. I think if you go with asphalt, you're asking for some trouble, because every tennis court I've ever been to has got cracks, and they've tried to put that, whatever that seal stuff is on it, and it never works.
Asphalt's rough too. I mean, no matter how good of an asphalt player you are.
And the thing is, no matter whether you do, he said it would obviously take longer to put in concrete. He said that most people around here are going to concrete just because of the durability, and the higher cost of pavement with the gas prices and stuff the way they are. But he said, you know, even if you use asphalt or concrete, it has to settle for 30 days before they can put the painting on there, the lining that they do. And it's a turnkey job, everything. But I asked him this question as well. And he said he would be glad to do this. You know, maybe we just get one of our local concrete guys to go down there and do the concrete and leave them out of it, and then just let him come in and do the striping and the fencing. He said he's fine with that. So we might can get it for an even better price if we can get a local.
Can you get with your concrete guy?
I can.
It's here.
I can.
What do they
So,
do?
yes, like,
What do they do about expansion joints?
But that's, I don't know.
Yeah, see, you can't pour a great big pad on that kid with that,
They usually go back down and cut them
with
in,
salt.
to salt them in after they
That's
pour
what
the
they
whole
did.
slab, like they did down here.
Yeah.
But that,
I think he said 2 quarts was 64 by 60 maybe. And that's with the relief, you know, the quart, it's not just the quart itself, that's with relief off of the quart. You know, so you'll have room to serve and
yeah,
sit and watch and things like that, so. But I was gonna bring that up at the budget committee and see which way they wanted to tend to lean on that.
now, I have a question. About lights. If you, well, if you put lights up, it's gonna cost a fortune to run the things.
Well, if they're
Yeah.
if they're LED,
Yeah,
Yeah, but that's a lot, and then one of the things that went through several of us is mine after, what's her name? I'm sorry.
Miss Hopkins.
Miss Hopkins was complaining about, who's gonna mine those lights? They belong to the town. But
Generally-
who's gonna, you know, when do you call it quits?
Well, that's a decision for you guys to make.
well, I mean,
I mean,
we got that.
You can put them on a timer.
Well, or a pay.
Nah.
Well, you know, it's,
You set a time, hey, you're done at 9:30,
Right.
whatever, and
Or
you set the timer for 9:30.
well, that's fine, but you know, if you, see, I've heard about a complaint about noise, but they forget that there's a time that the noise has to quit, and
It's
it
11,
ain't,
right?
yeah. Because, I mean, that's part of our job to oversee,
Sure.
but I want, you know.
But I'm kind of like, if that's the time that you were thinking, I think you don't want them at 10:45 down there playing pickleball.
No, that's where I was going with
No,
that.
no, no.
And a timer, because and it won't be on much in the wintertime,
What time's the noise ordinance now?
11.
11 o'clock.
That's too late.
Yeah, sure.
But we
But I
we
mean-
get to decide.
Well,
Not we. You get to decide.
That's
this.
way
We get
too
to
late
decide.
for
But-
pickleball.
Yeah, so
Are we not talking, I mean, I assume we're gonna talk about once we open up the splash pad and the playground and everything, we're gonna have some set time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and nobody can go in there at 2 o'clock in the morning and decide they wanna go and swing.
Chill Howie's closes at 8 every day.
Right, I mean, you know,
10 to 8.
so that's what I'm saying, we could easily dictate that.
Mhm.
I mean, it's really not a problem, I don't think.
that's all right, answered my question. Okay,
Can we go back to flag poles?
Yes, sir.
Are you making provisions for when you set that flag pole for lights to be there?
Mhm. We've already talked about
They're gonna
lighting
be
too.
underground, right? Running to it?
We've talked to some people about it, and I like the ones that are level with the ground that shine straight up.
Yeah.
But there will be, I don't think we didn't want to go with solar, we wanted to go with something wired to the pole.
Yeah,
And-
if you leave the flag, it's required to be lit.
it is. Also, there's flag poles you can buy that the halyards are locked, where you can't get to the ropes to take them down.
Well, these are inside the pole.
Okay.
And there's key lock on it too.
These are inside the pole
Okay.
with a little bracket that you can take off and,
Because if you don't, you'll be losing your flags.
Or have other flags put up.
Okay,
water plant, been in touch with VDH, and the Lane Group. I was sent a list of the the samples that would need to take place on the raw water at Staley Spring. Waiting on DEQ to send us exactly what the sample stuff that they need and how often they need it. Talked with the Lane Group actually earlier today, and there was an initial conversation between them, me, and DEQ to kind of find out what they wanted. Like I said, they sent us a list, but now we need to know how many days and how many sequences of testing need to be done in order to send it to the manufacturer to build the plant to our specifications. So the water plant at Philippi, we had another issue that we had to fix, but we were able to fix it pretty quickly, and we have recovered back to normal levels. Talked to the water operators today. They should be able to get the CIP cleaning done by probably Tuesday. No, probably Thursday. Because we did have some, we did empty the CIP cleaning to fix a sensor, and we had to use, do you know how many gallons of muriatic acid they used down there that day to get that?
50-some of it.
50-some gallons of muriatic acid to get the pH back down, what it needed to do.
So it sort of overdid the caustic count.
So then we, how many did we order, do you remember?
80.
We ordered 80 more. So generally, that would take us, 8 at the most in the past? And what that is once you do the cleaning of this caustic acid or material, before you can release it into the creek, DEQ requires you to put in muriatic acid, which drops the pH to between 8 and 9 is what it has to be. And it was 80, they had to put in 80 gallons before they could get it to that 8 or 9 point and send it out to the creek, so.
Is there a
But
way to
that's,
mix it?
the reason why that was the way it was is because it had sat in that cleaner for a little while. But generally, it does not take that
You
much.
see, they don't mind you dropping the creek because of salt water. It becomes table salt water. It's the same thing at that pH or whatever. It's not poisonous or whatever. You're not digging metals. It's
Well, when it hits the
Salt
creek,
water.
when it hits the creek down there, it looks like Dawn dishwashing liquid has been put in it, and it just flows
well,
down.
there's some surfactant somewhere in it. But anyway,
Anyway, the patching went well. I did talk to me and Mike talked to Ram. For next year, something's gonna have to be done about the rescue squad, parking lot. How thick was that?
Oh, the asphalt on it, man? Probably 1.5 inches.
Maybe. And they did patch that one rough area, but it needs some looking into, and there's actually a hole down there where the drainage, and we talked about this. You can look down in a hole in the parking lot and see the culvert pipe, so we're gonna have to take care of that issue as well. But that's probably, we've used the street maintenance money pretty much for this year. I think we went over just a little bit. And then we may wanna look at paving Pine Street next year as well, cause it's if you're not familiar with Pine Street, if you go back here and go up Barnell, it turns and comes back down, right down here at the Scissor Shack. And it's probably,
Yeah, it's all pieces.
it's nothing. So, we'll talk about that at the next meeting, for finance. I was not able to do a town manager's report tonight just because I had gotten into some stuff. Is there any other questions about anything?
Patching. Has VDOT been around and said anything to you?
I talked to one of their guys. He's actually over with county. The only thing I could get out of him as far as, and he doesn't do like the patching. He doesn't do the schedule for that. About the only thing that he did have to say was in the next month to month and a half, Milk Plant Road was gonna be redone.
Yeah, it's good.
It's a shame we couldn't charge the railroad for fixing it, because they screwed it up.
What about other places?
Where are you talking?
Nothing gonna happen to them, right?
I mean, I can only ask them.
What did you decide about Baumgartner? Did you you were riding up Baumgartner Avenue, is that right, name of the street?
Down here at Billy Klein's.
Yeah.
I mean, I mentioned it to him.
You
and-
did?
Yeah, and I actually gave the,
You know,
I gave the concerned citizen the number for the Bristol district.
Well, that was
So that
probably
he
a good
could-
idea.
He could call.
You know,
and
the
say-
right side of the road is the problem, the center's rough, but there's the pavement's disappearing, it's breaking off. And it's almost a gravel road up through there.
I'm going to run over again.
Yeah, seriously, in town, it's a state road.
It's only on the right side, though.
It's only on the right side, so
The other
it's-
side's good.
I guess I was on the wrong
I
side.
said, I might not have to repave the whole thing, but it looks to me like they ought to be able to, so we could have enough pavement to ride on.
Well, I'll just put it this way. There's other roads that some council members live on that are in just as bad a shape as Baumgartner is.
Maple Avenue.
Dale,
Yeah, it's got groundhog holes in it.
I'm just saying, there's roads all over the place that need taken care of.
They're spending money on redistricting, they don't have time to do the work.
maybe we should consider that here.
Maybe they need to give us audience with her worship and see how she'd like it.
There's no way she would grant us an audience there.
No, be a cold day in that place. Okay, I'm sorry. I just had to get a little dig in.
I got a question.
Sorry.
Can we, I know, I understand Dirk has been out of commission, understandably. Can we move his sign, because, am I right in saying his sign is not on, right?
It's on.
Battery's dead, must be. I think the battery must be
It's
dead.
just sitting on the side of the road, just dead in the water. We need to at
Okay.
least move it.
And he had asked me to move it in the lady's yard. We'll get with me after council. It does need to be moved, yes, sir.
And I had to ask, what's our status on the business license?
I've been by there no less than 4 times in the past week, and never has there been a soul there. So, it's not a whole lot of money.
It's just the principle though, if everybody else pays.
I mean,
theirs, then-
I agree. I'd like to try to put as much pressure without having to go into not paying a whole lot of money. But I do understand exactly what you're saying, because everybody else does it.
And, I mean, maybe it's just, having a conversation, look, are you out? If you're out, then
Well, I was wondering
stop.
if she,
And
I was
actually
wondering
take down
if,
your sign
I was wondering if
within 90
if she
days.
was still in business.
Right.
But there is a no trespassing, there's a sign back there, there's a no trespassing sign. From what I understand, she's paying rent, and somebody has seen a tax return that she actually produced for somebody this year. So,
Well, I don't know how we can get her attention, but we need to keep working on it, I guess.
Okay, any other questions? Do I have anything else to ask the town manager while he's up? Okay. With that said, we go to the treasurer's report.
Okay, we wrote these checks. Alpha and Omega Repairs, $15,173.37. American Waterworks Association, $424. Atmos Energy, $699.62. BMS Direct, $781.74. Brentag Mid-South, $3,088. Brightspeed, $75.71. EMS Incorporated, $200. Fort Chisel Septic Service, $3,100. Casey Automotive, $25. Lincoln Financial Group, $303.01. Lyons Cleaning, $750. M&M Construction, $197.30.44. Meredith's Garage, $120. Principal Financial Group, $272.70. Robert Medley, Ram Paving, $39,004. Sayers Electric, $1,560. Shred-it, $96.98. Z&M Enterprises, $1,530.19. And that's a total of $264,234.76.
Takes a lot of money to run a little town, though.
While we're signing those, this Thursday and Friday, they're having a May Day celebration for the second graders at the Heritage Center in Whitfield. All the officials are invited, but it's really something to see about 600 second graders running wild.
For a communist holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what it is.
It is.
And they don't worry about redistricting, there's not even no politics mentioned, it's just a bunch having a good time.
Well,
That would be fun.
we appreciate that, that's all right. but-
Well, when they burn the Tim Litz effigy,
That sounds good to me.
Tim's not in the barrel, is it? We have that stuff for you to get.
sir.
So moved.
All right, let me sign it before you stand up and then it'll
X,
be legal.
X.
It's, make you mark